All right, we're going to go live. Let me make sure. Actually, my mic is set up. I didn't check that really quick before we start. Audio. Okay. I got you. So we are, hi, live on YouTube and Instagram. It's such a weird day today. Or actually, I shouldn't say day. It's been kind of this weird week where all these different we're surrounded by apartment buildings. I'm in an apartment building, but it's like there's a fire, not the fire alarm, but that chirping of the fire alarm has been going off in like different buildings and lasting for a while, and it stresses out my dogs, obviously, so I've tried to have like music on, turn fans on so they don't hear it, but it's just kind of a weird, sometimes you're kind of like, why is that happening? Like, you know how sometimes you ask yourself, like, what's this about? Why, like, is there a message or something that I'm not getting, that beeping is trying to tell me? Anyway, we're not going to talk about that tonight. Tonight we're going to talk about being enough. Being enough. Have you ever thought about your existence, about you, and thought that you're enough? Just your pure existence is enough. I think that's a really hard concept to wrap our head around. And as a lot of you know through my teachings, we don't really want to wrap our head around it. We need to actually feel that and understand that and learn that from deep down in our soul. And so you can't wrap your head around something that is not logical. So when we talk about being enough, when we talk about your pure existence being enough, enough for love, enough for financial stability, enough for success, enough for acceptance, enough for love, patience, like everything, right? Like you are enough, which makes you worthy of that. And for all of us, we don't understand that or know that for different reasons. Sometimes it's societal pressures and society deciding what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad, what's worthy, who's not, right? For some of us, it comes from maybe our own insecurities or childhood suffering. It comes from so many places. So obviously, we have to do the work of emotional balancing therapy and such. But next, we have to do the work of really going deep within the consciousness and the soul of this deep understanding of my pure existence is enough. And that will eventually come. It can come in many ways, and it will come in many ways from doing it comes from doing the work. And for all of us, it comes at different times. But really, meditation is where this is going to come from, because when you allow yourself to sit and just breathe, when you allow yourself to just be, this is when we are telling ourselves that we are enough, that we are enough, that we don't need to be doing, we don't need to be producing, creating, we don't need to be, working and whatever, right? We don't need to be doing anything. Just the fact that we are sitting here and breathing and existing is enough. And let's take that a step further. It's enough to deserve. It's enough to earn. It's enough to you don't need to prove yourself to get what it is that you're looking for in life. Now, I'm not saying don't work hard. You have to. I'm not saying don't put yourself out there. You have to. I'm not saying don't plan. You have to. I'm not saying don't create dreams and follow them. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying that first, before we even get to that, is this deep understanding that the fact that I exist, the fact that I am breathing, says that I am enough. And then I will build off of that. Instead, we tend to believe that our worthiness comes from the fact that you make a lot of money, or you work at a good job, or you take care of this person or that person, or. And then we base our worthiness off of that. We base our enoughness, made up word, off of that. And yes, we all know, like, we know money doesn't buy us happiness, and money doesn't, and our job doesn't define us. We know those things and say those words, but we don't really believe it. And so let's try something different than just saying those words. That's one thing that for me, in this world of spirituality that is just so diluted, and for me, overrun with positive quotes that people just read but don't embody, and then wonder why things are going a certain way, right? And so I tend to grab these quotes and say, okay, but what is, like, my favorite one is when people are like, well, lead with love. What does that mean? What does that mean if you don't lead your own life and your own sense of self with love? If you don't lead your own existence with love, and most likely you don't, none of us do, unless we step onto a conscious path of that, then how are you supposed to lead with love in any other situation? You can't. If you are consciously leading with love for yourself first, you are taking time for self-care through meditation, through exercise, through a healthy diet, that type of self-care. Not self-care meaning sit in the corner and scroll on your phone or go to a spa. There's nothing wrong with any of that. I'm just saying true self-care is what you do every day, the small moments of meditation and exercise and diet. Because meditation, diet, exercise, therapy when we need it, journaling, all of that is what will make us feel good from the core, from our essence, from our consciousness, from the depths of our soul, because our body feels good. It feels strong. It feels clear because our mind is balanced. Our emotions are balanced, not 24/7. Not 24/7, but we start the day like that because we lead with love for ourselves first. And if every day you are leading with love for yourself first, now you can say, okay, I'm going to try and lead with love in this situation. That's really hard, right? Now you can say that and practice it. But to just blatantly, tell others or tell someone will lead with love, well, you have to first process that for you first. And if we're looking at a scenario where we have people that are in conflict or someone being difficult to us, we have the right to work through our anger, our resentment, our frustration. We have the right to work through that before we come to a place of love. And that's fair, right? And that is also bringing us to a place of understanding that we are enough. I am enough that I deserve to be in meditation every day. I am enough to deserve to work through my emotions on my own, be mad at someone, be frustrated, and then come back to the table once I'm balanced. I am enough to do that. And when we start to work from that place of really looking at the self as being enough, that the breath is enough, that just being and not doing is enough. The joy of doing, the joy of creating, the joy of working hard, the joy of going out there and making lots of money and making amazing projects or doing amazing at your job, all of that starts to fall in line from a very, very different place because it's coming from a place of this depth and core of enoughness. When I ask you to sit in meditation every day, I'm asking you to understand that you are enough when you are in stillness. You don't have to be doing or saying anything, and you are enough. And that can be a scary, overwhelming, difficult position until we become comfortable with it, until we become at ease with that being the truth. Any questions? Any comments? Anything that you want to add or ask, or anything about yourself that you're doubting or unsure about, or why can't I get to that place? I've got you guys on YouTube and Instagram, so I'm checking both the comments. Foxfire Jen, this message came right on time. Perfect. Thank you for sharing that. I always love hearing that. That alignment is always so gratifying, right? So let's get into a short meditation and let's work on this. Let's work on this understanding that you are enough. So if you're new, just get comfortable. And close your eyes. And take 3 releasing breaths. So a deep inhale through the nose and exhale, blow it out through the mouth. 2 more times. One more time. I want you to just be still for a moment. And I want you to notice the body. The body might itch. It might move. It might ache. It might be uncomfortable. And listen to it. And I want you for a moment to engage it. If you feel like you need to move, move. If you're feeling antsy, open the eyes, stand up. I want you to give yourself permission to be enough, to just do what you feel you need in this moment. And then I want you to take that into all of your meditations. Allow the first few minutes of your meditation every day to be just a moment of restlessness, frustration, feeling antsy, and then be enough to know when it's time to rein that in and require of yourself some sense of stillness. Start to deepen your breath. Start to lengthen your breath. Deepening the breath, lengthening the breath. Wiggle the fingers and the toes to make sure they're not clenched. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Notice if the eyes are gently closed. Make sure they're not squeezed tight. Allow the cheekbones to drop, the jaw to relax. Allow the legs to feel loose. And most important, allow the belly to move with your breath. Allow the belly to expand big. I want you to release the belly and feel it grow big. On the inhale, it expands, and on the exhale, it relaxes in. We tend to hold the belly tight. We tend to be scared to allow the belly to expand, and I want you to expand the belly. We are enough in this body just as we are right now. Allow that belly to expand on the inhale and relax on the exhale. Feel the breath in the belly as they move together. Placing the left hand over the belly and feeling our connections to the outside world. It lives in the belly. We digest our relationships. We digest our food. We digest society here in the belly. Are we overeating or are we undereating? Are we eating to cover? Are we eating out of fear? Are we holding food from ourselves because we don't feel we deserve or we're scared? Just notice that for a moment. Where are you at with your relationship to food? No right, no wrong. Just address it and accept it for a moment. And if you feel like it makes you uncomfortable, deepen your breath. You are enough. Breathe. On your exhale, I want you to say, I am enough. You are enough. Just as you are right here in this moment, you are enough. A few more rounds, slowing down the breath and using your voice. How does that feel for you? You are enough. All right, allow yourself to sit quietly for a moment, breathing, allowing the whole body to sink deep, releasing and relaxing through the arms and the fingers and the legs and the belly. And bringing your attention now to the throat. I want you to feel an orange color moving through the throat. It's making space in the throat. It's allowing you to speak. It's also allowing you to be spoken to in a way that you can digest, feel, and accept. This orange moves through the throat, through the face, and gently moves out the top of the head, opening up the crown and connecting the crown and your consciousness to your throat, to your voice, where we can be heard and we are heard. Allow that orange color to move through the throat, up through the face, and gently lifts out through the crown of the head. Inhale and then exhale, pushing the orange out through the top of the head. This orange color is healing, but it's also an expressive color. It's being used tonight to open you up, to open up the expression that you hold in your throat. It's about holding the power of I am enough and blending that with the voice. This orange color is about holding the power of I am enough and expressing it with the voice. This orange color is about the power of I am enough and expressing it with the voice. Sit in this for a moment. Deepen your breath if you notice you become uncomfortable with it. Feel the orange, see the orange move through the throat, opening up the chakra and moving through the face and gently lifting out through the crown, moving into the cosmos. How does this feel? How does this look? A few more breaths here. Engaging with this orange color, engaging with the thought of I am enough. And now move the attention into the crown. And I want you to literally see a crown. It sits on the top of the physical head. And this crown is symbolic for your consciousness, the consciousness that we carry with us everywhere in every lifetime, always. When we leave the physical body behind, the crown, the consciousness comes with us. Whether we incarnate as human, plant, animal, alien, it is always there. And the memory of every lifetime is there. Feel and see this crown as it shimmers on top of your head. Feel the crown, see the crown. And then I want you to feel the light coming off the crown and lifting so far up into the cosmos, you cannot see where it ends. So we inhale the crown and exhale. We push the light from the crown up into the cosmos. Inhale the crown, exhale as we push the light up into the cosmos. One more time. Inhale the crown, exhale as we push the light into the cosmos. So we have our voice and we have that connection to the voice and the consciousness now working together. And we blend that with a heart center that reminds us that we are enough. We are enough. You are enough. Sit for a moment in silence with these words. And staying in this state of mind, just gently blink the eyes open. Just sit still for a moment, but look around your space. And I want you to look through with a different perspective. What does this home or this space I'm in look like and feel like in this moment of knowing that I am enough? Does it feel a little bit different? Maybe your connections to those that live with you may feel a little bit different. Don't allow that to scare you. Lean into it. Any questions, comments? We'll pull some cards before we go. Myth or Mystery is in about an hour. Very light, fun, paranormal, caught on camera. We do some fun stuff there. Not as heavy as here, right? Let's pull some cards for a minute. Let's see what we need to see, need to feel, need to hear. I want you to use this as your mantra. I want you to write these words down. I want you to carry these words with you, that I am enough. I am enough. Jen, this was deep. Tears came out tonight. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you, Cindy. I'm glad. Tears are good. So feel this card for a minute. What does this feel like? I'm trying to get it away from the glare. What does this feel like for you? To me, this feels like for you guys, like a shining star, right? Like you found it. You found yourself for a moment and you're just glowing from the inside out. Just glowing from the inside out. That glow is where we find this deep sense of self. More importantly, we find peace. And when we're at peace, we aren't searching, we aren't wondering, and we aren't suffering. Emerald. What does this feel like for you? What does this look like for you? I feel the depth of the soul. I feel the heart center. What does that look like and feel like for you? It feels like promise. My dog Opal is trying to push me off the chair so she can sit in it. So guess what I'm going to do? Make room for her. Let's go. You can sit behind me, Bubs. Let's do a couple more, then I'll let you guys go. She wants me to get off the chair. I'm not getting off the chair. All right. Now I'm too close. I want you to see this without the glare, but I don't know that that's possible. Oh, so here we go. I'll come closer. Ooh, look at that one for you guys. I feel like we're covering, these cards are covering the third eye. They're covering the heart. They're covering the consciousness. Oh, I love these cards. Okay. I mean, I could say no to her, but obviously I'm not. So let me just move this back. Okay. I just got kicked out officially. So the show will end soon. Pyrite. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Ooh, what does this one feel like for you guys? I feel for this, for some of you, I feel like you're hiding. I feel like this card is showing me that some of you are hiding still. That's okay. But you don't have to hide anymore. I feel like this card is giving you the freedom to no longer hide. Okay. And lastly, what's crazy about these cards for me is the faces in them. Look at that. What does that feel like for you? That feels for me, for you guys, like power. Power is subtle. Power is quiet. Power is gentle. When we really get in touch with I was talking about this with a client the other day. When you get in touch with your power, it is so subtle and so It almost creeps up on you. We talk a lot about power in spirituality, and people tend to feel like when they're expressing their power, it's because they're um, maybe doing something big or grand. And power is the opposite of that. I'm not saying don't do big, grand things, but ultimately, power is very subtle and gentle. Yeah. Um, so I'm gonna go because I've been kicked off my chair. Okay, hold on. Can you guys see this? Ow. I just pulled a muscle trying to sit. Look at, ow. Can you see her? All right. I'll see you in an hour. Whoever wants to do myth or mystery, it's really fun. Otherwise, I'll be back next week. This is me, right? We go from the depth of spirituality to the silliness of just allowing our dogs to take over our lives. Okay, bye. See you guys either in 1 hour, like 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, or next week.